Bhushundi arrived under the banyan tree, mentally invoked Sri Ram, and then began the story. Once Hanuman had met Sita Devi, given her Sri Ram's ring and message, and reassured her that Sri Ram would come very quickly, he suddenly realized that he was hungry. So leaping on a tree, he shook it, and as the fruit fell down, he set about eating it. The guards in the grove heard this noise, and they rushed towards him with clubs in their hand. Hanuman pounced on them and knocked them to the ground. Hollering loudly, they rushed to Ravan to inform him about this intruder. Ravan promptly sent some soldiers to the grove, but Hanuman put an end to them very quickly. Ravan was shocked. What kind of a monkey was this, he wondered. So he sent his son Akshay Kumar to find out what all this was about. Akshay Kumar was a mighty warrior, and when Hanuman saw him arriving, he uprooted a huge tree and hurled it at Akshay Kumar, who promptly dropped dead along with his horses. Ravan was extremely astounded, and he decided now to send Indrajit. Indrajit was his favorite son, an indomitable warrior, and in whom Ravan had complete faith. Indrajit got his name from the fact that he had been able to defeat Indradevta. And he was also known as Meghnad because he could thunder like the clouds. So Indrajit arrived in the Ashok Grove and tried all kinds of ploys to defeat Hanuman, but they were not successful. Finally, as a last resort, he decided to use the Brahmastra. The Brahmastra was the ultimate weapon. It was like a missile. And Hanuman decided that he would get knocked down by it only to safeguard the reputation of that missile and the honor of Lord Brahma, after whom it was named. A second reason why Hanuman let himself be knocked down by the Brahmastra was because he wanted to see Ravan's court. So when the Brahmastra struck him, he fell in such a way that he ensured that a maximum number of Rakshasas got squashed under his gigantic form. Once Indrajit saw that Hanuman had lost consciousness, he approached him. He had him trussed up in ropes and taken off to Ravan's court. When Hanuman came round, he found himself before Ravan, who was seated on his throne. Ravan thundered, "Who are you, O monkey? Where have you come from? And on whose might have you wrought such havoc in the Ashok Grove?" And Hanuman replied, "I am the messenger of the one who time and again takes avatar to put an end to the wicked and to protect the good. I am the messenger of the one who was able to break Lord Shiva's formidable bow and to defeat Ravan's brothers Khara, Dushan and Trishara. I am the Sevak of that Supreme Lord, and I derive my strength from the one and only source of strength for the whole world. And you," said Hanuman, "you have abducted his wife." Ravan ignored this and said, "Why did you kill my guards, my soldiers, my son?" Hanuman explained that he had had no intentions of killing anybody. He had been hungry, and so he started eating the fruit in the garden. And he had been attacked, and so he had to protect himself. And if in the bargain all these people died, it was not his fault. Then Hanuman told Ravan, "O Ravan, set aside your pride and return Sita Devi. Sri Ram is no ordinary mortal. Go and seek refuge at his feet. He will forgive all your wrongdoings because he is most compassionate and most loving." Ravan laughed. Hanuman continued to caution him, "Don't keep this enmity going with Ram," he said, "because otherwise there will be no one at all who will be there to protect you, and you and your family will be completely wiped out." Ravan, in his boastful way, laughed even more loudly and said, "All that remains for me now is to have a monkey as my guru." Then he called his soldiers and said, "Set this monkey's tail on fire. Monkeys are supposed to be very fond of their tails. Go and get cloth, dip it in oil, and then wrap it around his tail." Then turning to Hanuman, he said, "And now we will see the power of him who you have praised to the skies." The soldiers rushed about bringing cloth. They soaked it in oil and they began to wrap it around Hanuman's tail. Slowly, imperceptibly, that tail grew longer and longer and longer. More and more cloth was brought. All the cloth of Lanka was used. All the oil and ghee was used. But finally, it was tightly wrapped around Hanuman's tail. Then Ravan said, "Now parade him round the city to the beat of drums, and only then set his tail on fire." Hanuman was delighted because he wanted to see the whole of Lanka. So as he was paraded, people poked him and socked him and hurled insults at him. He remained perfectly calm and content. Once he had been paraded around the city, his tail was set on fire. Immediately, Hanuman reduced himself to such a tiny size that he was able to slip out of that cloth binding his tail. And then, assuming a humongous form, he leapt to the top of the tallest building. The tip of his tail was on fire, and he set fire to that building. As he leapt from one building to another, he set fire to all the buildings. Soon the whole of Lanka was burning. There was panic and terror in the city. Only Vibhishan's palace was not impacted by the fire. Then Hanuman rushed to the sea, took a dip in the sea, and put out the fire on his tail. Then he rushed to the Ashok grove and asked Sita Devi to give him some token by which he could show Sri Ram that he had indeed met her. She gave him her crest jewel and also a message for Sri Ram. She beseeched Ram to come as quickly as possible and put an end to her sorrow, for she could not live without him much longer. Then Hanuman leapt into the sky and set off. And on that triumphant note, the evening story session came to an end. There was much animation amongst the birds as they flew off to their respective trees for the night.